Hey guys, welcome to another Reaper blog tutorial. Today we'll be looking at how to make a song fade out. Long fade outs aren't something that's very popular these days, but it is something that you need to know because it will come up sometime throughout your career in production. So this project here is a combination of audio and MIDI items. It's like a dancey synthwave track. And this last section, I've already marked it with a region, but this area here is what I'm going to repeat until it fades out. So I think another repeat like this. So I'm just holding down Command, dragging that over until the little plus sign aligns with the end of it and essentially repeats that area. Now it's this section here that's going to fade out to silence. If this project was entirely audio items, you could put in a fade on all the items, and that would essentially give you a fade out, but there is the problem that as the signal level decreases, that's going to impact the threshold of every compressor in your mix. Every track that has a compressor, it's going to have the wrong level. It's not going to sound consistent. It's going to start breaking up as the level decreases, and the end of the mix is not going to sound correct. The best way to do it is at the end of the signal chain, the absolute end, and that is the master volume fader. So let's show that in the Arrange view. Go to View menu, Master Track, and that's always up at the top. And we're going to show the volume envelope. So right-click, Volume, and then we got the volume envelope. Put a point here and a point here. I'm going to clear my time selection. I'm just going to drag this down. Okay, so now we have a linear fade out that comes after the master effects chain. Everything has to go through this automation curve. So this is a linear fade out. You see, you could hear it all the way to the end, and that's not correct. It's not a matter of making our fade longer. It's a matter of changing the curve. A linear curve doesn't work with our ears. To change the curve, we can right-click, set point shape, or we can hold Option and drag, or we can right-click on the envelope and change the curve. So just to be precise about this, let's choose the point shape. To start, let's do fast start. So here we go. Now this is personal preference, but to my ear, that one sounds a lot more natural for a song fade out. Let's try the opposite shape. So we go to fast end. So this is going to be a little more gradual for the first half, and then more quickly dropping down to 0 at the end. I'm not a big fan of that curve for fade outs. I don't think it really does the job correctly. That curve works if you're layering one song fade out with another song's fade in, more like a crossfade. We can try another one called slow start end, And that is kind of like a mix of the two that I just showed you. So my recommendation, if you're doing a song fade out on a track like this, at least, you'd want to use slow start end or fast start. You want it to be obvious that it is fading out, and neither of those shapes will do it. If we render this track without the fade out here, just the duplicated ending, we could do this fade out in mastering. The problem with doing it in the mix is that as it goes into the mastering stage, this long fade out is committed to the track. That long fade out is going to affect the threshold of the dynamics processing. Often that's not a big deal, but it could be, especially if you're going for a specific vibe, using the compressor as a sort of musical pumping effect, things like that. As the signal level decreases, it's going to throw that off. It's not going to work anymore. So again, in mastering, if you were doing this with just a single wave file, you would still want to do this on the master track automation. I really hope that makes sense. It's really easy. It's just a bit of automation. 2 points, pick a curve that sounds right, and that's it. Remember, you want this at the very end of your signal chain. After all the compression and multiband compression, limiting, things like that, this should be the last step. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Support the Reaper blog through Patreon. And visit reaperblog.net for a lot more tutorials.